Grip safety works too.
Good job, Liz.
Thanks.
Break.
Wait.
Oh. Good morning to you.
You messed it up.
I did. Why
did you do that?
Just to be different. Good morning, all you super awesome people who don't have crooked name tags.
Adjust all your stuff.
And my glasses are crooked, my hat's crooked. Maybe my brain's not. I forgot my freaking gun today. My brain is just not working. Meh to you too.
Most people don't even know what day it is.
He doesn't even know who he is. He's had to change his name like 27 times, David Bryan.
Who's David Bryan?
Take a guess.
Oh, I know who it is.
Do you?
Yep.
Okay. I know I'm very pretty. Thank you for telling me. I appreciate you and your efforts.
Good morning, Samantha.
Samantha, good morning.
I haven't seen that name.
Yeah, I haven't seen that name either. So good morning and welcome. David, good morning.
Jim, good morning.
Jim, good morning. Is Jim the one that won the Pats? Am I remembering that right? Damn it. Maybe I shouldn't have said that out loud.
I think there was another Jim. I think it was Jim, but it's a different Jim. McMillan? Does that sound right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, he's supposed to email you, so.
But I don't know if he saw it. But
what was the patch
for guessing the name tags?
Oh, it is Jim Gray.
Okay, so it's sitting on my desk.
All right.
Waiting for it. It's got your name on it.
Waiting
so
on you.
Next time you're in, just ask for it. So, what are we talking about today? Or should we do inventory stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just real quick.
Just real quick. I'll do a real quick inventory. So I'm going to go through, show some of the stuff on the wall. If you've got questions, ask them, and I'll do my best to ignore them. And then we're going to talk about child firearms safety and what that means, which might mean something different for different people, different kids at different ages.
Maybe it means... I found this dumb gun on Amazon. I had to get it. I just had to see what it's like. We'll talk about it in a minute. All right, do your inventory very quickly.
Anyway, let's go wander around and take a look at what we've got in here on the walls for the rest of the year. So for the next few days, we have double discounts for members. So members get to double their discounts on anything that they're purchasing. Charles, what is this? Is that, hold on. I gotta.
Oh, it's a baby.
It's Charles.
It's a baby firearm. This is my concealed carry.
It's not the guns that we talk about on a live show when we're talking about child firearm safety.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's not a kid's gun.
So,
Actual 22.
that's I kind of want one just because.
You know they
Patrick.
have belt buckles?
Yes.
You can holster your baby Derringer on your belt buckle. It's like one of those rodeo belt buckles.
I think you should have
Yeah,
one.
he died yesterday.
Yep, Gaston.
That's what you should have named it, but then nobody would have.
What, Gaston's dead? That's what I should have named this?
Someone's dead.
Patrick needs a rimfire, Tika T1, CZ 457, or the like. Thick. He wants a thick barrel.
I must have watched the
With
live
two
show
seats.
yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know if you watched the live yesterday and all the. Nah, I'm just going to stop there. Who's
Phil had a Derringer. He'd lose it more than his actually a good.
that?
Definitely forget that
True.
one.
Yeah, definitely. True. I can't believe I forgot my gun.
You'd probably like tape it to the inside of your hat or something. Then you wouldn't forget it.
That'd be weird. Anyway, let's take a look at what we got. We have shotguns, all the shoot guns up here. Stoger, Mossberg, Remington, Kel-Tec, Standard, Beretta. We've got one 1301 left up there right now. And then we still have several Benellis up here as well. Supernovas, M4s. So if you're needing the new Master Blaster, come on out. Let's see, 22s. Patrick, I don't really have anything like what you're looking for here. Try to see. No. I don't even have much for 22s. Ruger 1022 and Charger and a little Keystone.
I was
Cricket.
expecting the Ruger American.
Brooke,
to
good
be
morning.
22, but it's not.
Yeah, it's a 5.56.
It's kind of, but
Yeah,
it's
it is a
funny
22.
To see a
5.56 bolt gun. Yeah.
It's not as scary.
It's not as scary. All right, onto the long gun wall. All sorts of stuff up here. I'm really kind of surprised, even though this is an oddball rifle. I'm really kind of surprised that somebody hasn't come in to pick up this.
The 8.6.
The fix. Oddball caliber, oddball rifle. Caliber though, is that the right word? Now I don't know.
Oh boy. Well, yes, because it's the barrel. The bore of the barrel is 8.6. Blackout.
But that's the cartridge.
No, that's caliber. Bore.
Blackout, 8.6 blackout is the cartridge.
Well, yeah, that's the part. Okay, so
So
yeah.
I know we're not going down that road right now. We're not doing it.
Here we go.
Sig, I've got Sig, Ruger, Smith, all sorts of stuff up here. Desert Tech, Kel-Tec, Kalashnikov, and I've got some bolt guns. Again, this is, or not bolt guns, sorry, lever guns. This is my favorite.
Holy crap! Look at that sick cross.
Chambering. So, dang it, Patrick. So we had this discussion this morning of what's the definition of caliber?
Like the dictionary.
Yeah,
definition of
what
caliber.
is the definition of caliber? And I don't want to, because this is going to be a really big rabbit hole. All right.
Good morning, Gordon.
Gordon, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good. Good gracious.
So what is it, Philium?
Yeah. So what is what?
Caliber.
Caliber. Caliber is by definition the internal measurement of a rifle barrel, the bore.
Well, not even just a rifle, just the bore.
Well, the
barrel.
barrel bore.
Barrel bore.
Barrel
Diameter
bore. Caliber is the diameter of the bore. Yes, thank you. And that's what we read too, and we often, which is why I made the comment of like 8.6 blackout isn't technically the caliber, it's the cartridge. But still,
Because
it's chambered,
yeah.
like Patrick said, it's chambered in 8.6 blackout. It's a weird
So
cartridge
Okay,
that's
so the-
entry.
Yeah, so the caliber is the bore, so that would have nothing to do with the length of the cartridge. It's just the diameter of the bullet. But then the chamber would be specific to the length of the cartridge, so a chambered end would be specific to the cartridge, not the caliber. The caliber is just the barrel.
Okay,
Just the
all I
bore.
hear right now is wah, 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 wah. All right, look at this. We have handguns, pistols from Shadow Systems, MR, XR, DRs, Springfield, Hellcats, Prodigies, Echelons, XDMs and XDSs, Smith, SDs, Equalizers, 5.7s, CSXs, M&P 2.0s, SIG, all the different 365s, 210s, 320s, 226, all sorts of stuff there. Beretta, 92 variants, Cheetah, HK VP9s and P30s, CZ, I've got 75s, 75Bs, SP01s, P10 Compact, P09, so on. Still have the mailbox Beretta
I bet
up
that
there.
gun would sell if we took the mailbox off it.
Probably. Does each Beretta come with a slice of pizza? Yeah, Workman. I can hear him chuckling to himself at his jokes that he thinks are funny that are not.
I
But
think it's funny.
I know you think it's funny, which really means nothing. FN, I've got FNX 45s, 509s, 545s, high powers, Canic, all sorts of different variants of Canic down there. Glock, RIP, Sorry, bud. You're gone.
I guess so.
I guess so. Glock 49, 1917, maybe. Nope, no 17s left. 45. Look at that Glock 25.
That's dumb.
I don't understand it.
I don't either.
But everybody who watches this knows my love for 380.
I remember it being. I'm gonna get that.
Okay.
The slide being ridiculously heavy.
Yeah, the slide was like super hard to pull back. Let's see, Walther. I've got Q4 and Q5 steel frames. PPQs, PDPs of all sorts, different styles, PPKs, PPFs, Gearsons. We've got one High Point C9, Savage, yada, yada, yada. We have all sorts of cool stuff.
It's a Gen 3. That's not bad.
That's not that bad.
It is. It's a Gen 3 though, so it's. What? Look at the barrel.
Yeah, I can't get the focus on it, but at any rate, chamfered down like that.
Huh. I wonder if they did that just recently to help with the slide because I remember whenever we stopped at that gun store on our way somewhere. But they were the one that I tried to rack the slide on.
Was it that one, or was it the? Don't they have one that's a Glock 26 sized? I thought it was a Glock 26 sized 380. I don't remember what the hell that's called, but again, I don't understand the point of it. It's the same size. That one's the same size as. Patrick's going crazy on. So Patrick's a reloader too. So let's see. Clyde says Glock 25 was only cool before they were made stateside, and only cool because they were unattainable in the States, but really not cool at all. Let's see. Patrick says length doesn't have as much to do with chambering. That's just the overall length of the case and that particular bullet. Chambering covers a SAMI spec of what that chambering was reamed for. Rabbit holes. Yes, exactly.
Oh, so that's going to have to do with like head space and neck and
all that. Yeah, angles and all that crap that I certainly know nothing about.
Magazine.
Yeah, well, they got to make it short for the.
Yeah, it's just a
380.
9mm mag, but they
smashed the back of it in. Whatever.
It's perfect.
That's perfect. That's perfection. Let's take a look at the used gun case. Used gun case got hit hard over the holidays, so we don't have much in there right now. But I do have a Glock 21, Walther P22, PPQ, Car E9, SIG 320 AXG, Smith Governor 365, and a Remington R51. Miss Peggy Leone. Good morning, ma'am.
Hi, Peggy.
We do have a good selection of some revolvers in here as well. Colts, Taurus, Ruger, Smith. Back here in the back, got some Smiths. So, Patrick says, back to work. Later, Filbert and girl. Later, Patrick. All right. That's what we have in inventory. So, if you haven't got yourself a Christmas gift yet, even though Christmas is over,
No, it's not.
It is.
It is. You said it. You just said it yourself.
What did I say?
If you need a Christmas gift, implying that Christmas is still going on.
If you didn't get if you still need your
don't just try to change
Christmas
it now.
gift.
No.
I think that's what I said. If you still need a Christmas gift, okay, you didn't get a gun for Christmas.
Why can't it just be a gift now since Christmas is quote unquote over?
Because you're using money maybe you got for Christmas, or you didn't get one for Christmas, so now thank you, Gordon. Now you need one. So, Mr. Workman, Vincent is off today.
I disagree.
We let him take
December.
one day off a month.
December is Christmas. December.
That's okay. Remember,
You just
not arguing. I'm just right.
I was really nervous you were going to spit that on my shoulder.
All right. Start talking about stuff. I got to take this.
So, it comes up often about children and firearm safety. Thanks, Peggy. See, Peggy agrees.
What's that?
that she agrees with me about Christmas being.
I see you took Christmas lights down. It's over.
No, the tree is still over there
the
with
tree's
lights on
still
it.
up.
And Dan put the lights above the coffee pot and he turned them on.
Yeah, those lights are still up. They're just not turned on yet. Charles heard us say that and was like, I gotta go turn on the lights. He's currently running as fast as Charles can run over to turn on the lights.
Only 362 days till Christmas. Why do you gotta say it like that?
Next year's a leap year, so is that you're taking that into account?
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah, let's really overthink it.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on. So, children and firearms. Okay, so it often gets brought up. Should I get a safety on my gun because I have kids? Liz, just remember, Phil doesn't have his backup today, so your argument has more standing. Thank you.
Yes.
That's valid.
She just punched me in the mouth anyway, so.
So if you bought a gun, or if you plan on getting a gun and having a safety on it to keep your kids safe from it, let me just show you this cool little fancy toy that I got off Amazon. Let me just show you. Here it is. It looks like a toy, right? It is a toy.
That is a toy.
It is a toy. But, so, hold on, try to do this. See this little guy right here? That's a safety. And it actually works. It's really chintzy. But it works. And it actually will not let the gun fire if that safety's on. So one could assume that kids' toys, the slide locks open too, I love it. One could assume that kids' toys have safeties on them, and it's very understandable how to use them. It's just a lever. So with all that aside, guns shouldn't be accessible by the kids, period. But that is, without a doubt, the biggest reason that I hear why people get safeties on their gun. And it really it sucks, because a safety on your gun is not to imply that the gun is safe. The second that you have that mindset, you're in danger.
Yeah. So I will often, and I 100% agree with Liz. I hear that same thing all the time. Yeah, I'm looking for this. I really want a safety because I have little kids at home. The first question I will typically ask is, how old are your kids? Oh, I have a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 12-year-old. Okay. Can all of them work your phone better than you? Probably. Even the 3-year-old, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm assuming if they can work your phone better than you, they also know how to turn on the light switch in your house. Well, yeah. That little safety lever is not designed for that.
No.
It's not
Absolutely
to keep it safe from children. You can just turn the gun off, set it on the table, and nothing bad can happen.
Absolutely
That
not.
is an absolute recipe for disaster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't do that. And I understand because of the name of it.
Sure.
Hey, I'm making my gun safe by turning it off. But it's just a light switch. That's all that it is.
Yeah, and they know how to do it. Their toy guns have it, and it's not an easy thing, or it's not a hard thing to understand.
Yeah.
The kid will fiddle fuck every switch, button, or trigger on a gun until it responds. Keep the guns out of their friggin' reach. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
The DoD's insistence, their M17 have an external safety to prevent Joe Snuffy from ending themselves would say otherwise.
Yeah, and that just shows the wisdom of our federal government and how much they trust us with a handgun. I just don't understand that whole thing either, but whatever.
So what can you do with kids and firearms? Lock them up. Even
the kids, lock the kids up.
Duh.
What I said earlier is just don't have kids, buy more guns.
Solved.
I don't know if it's too late for me on that one or not. I don't know.
You can go to one of those states that I'm not gonna say it. Anyway. So how do you keep your kids safe from guns? Well, you could just lock them up. That's a great idea. Period. Lock them up. But what if they go to a friend's house and their friend's parents don't keep their guns locked up, or they are negligent with their guns, and one of their kids gets their gun out when mom or dad aren't home and show it to your kid and say, hey, check this out. That That's where the locking up part doesn't work, when the kid is out of your quote-unquote control. We all know that we never control our kids totally, but when they're at someone else's house and you're relying on the guns to be locked up, that is where the complications arise. So Clyde says, teach the kids about firearm safety, teach them to not touch it and to grab an adult. Absolutely. And that's where our point is going, is to educate them.
Education is the best safety, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Locking them up is still important. Education to the kids. So here's something else I will tell parents very often is, I'm not going to tell you how to parent your kids, right? I'm not going to say, I'll tell you what I did and what I think is a good idea. I think education is key. I think the kids need to know that you have firearms in the house, and what they're for and what they're not for. If you think you can hide it from them, you are wrong. You're wrong. They know you got it. And if they just want to get curious and have questions answered and they can't come to you because they're not supposed to know about it, they're going to seek out their own answers, and it could be devastating.
Absolutely.
So I use myself as an example. When I have 3 little boys, well, not so little anymore, 15-year-old twins and a 10-year-old, and my youngest, before I had ever had the conversation with him, one day comes walking up to me with a little Nerf gun, carrying an appendix. And I'm like, hey, Austin, what the heck are you doing, dude? He goes, I'm just carrying a gun like you, Daddy.
Benny's done that before, too.
I never had the conversation. I tried purposely not to show him because I didn't feel that he was ready to have the conversation of, hey, I carry this for our own protection. It's not something you tell your friends about. It's not something you say, well, if you do this, my daddy's going to get you because he's got a gun.
Yeah.
That's not what it's for, right? It's for the protection of myself and my family, and that's it. But he knew. He knew. So we had that conversation then. My kids are very well educated when it comes to firearms. However, they are still children and do stupid things, right? So my gun is either on me or it's locked up. That's it. Education becomes supremely important if I screw up and leave something sit out, or, like Liz said, if they go to a friend's house where maybe they don't have the same
Level of responsibility.
Yeah, responsibility is a good word. I was looking for the right word. That's a good word. The same level of responsibility to secure their stuff.
And Nick brings up a good point. We also never ever talk about guns at school, which is, it makes it taboo, and it makes all the kids want to know more about it. And my 13-year-old, whenever he was in preschool, he was 2 years old. I'm sorry, 3 years old. He got suspended because he took a squirt gun. It was still in his coat pocket from playing, like, at whatever party or fun day we were having, and he had a little squirt gun in his pocket. He went to school, got it out at recess, and they suspended a preschooler for 2 days because of a squirt gun. That's ridiculous. The zero tolerance policy, I could go on and on about that. I think if you want to mitigate the chances that your child could access a gun and use it negligently, the education is the only way, in my opinion, the only way to get that's the farthest you can get with it. I don't think that there's any other like hard and fast rule that you can say, well, unless you keep them in a cage. But that's just not going to happen. They're going to talk about it, whether it's with their friends, they're going to see it, whatever it is. So getting them that education to where you can trust them when they're not in your presence is helpful. I know that if my 13-year-old, my 4-year-old's a little too young he's shot a gun before, but he's a little too young to have conversations with anybody really. But my 13-year-old, I know that if he goes over to a friend's house and they have a gun there, and let's say that they decide to get it out when their parents aren't around and it's a bad situation, I know my 13-year-old can say, hey, let's not do this. If you guys want to shoot guns, let's go talk to my mom. She'll take us to the range and we can actually shoot the guns and not do it and get in trouble or hurt each other. So I know, why would you keep your guns in a cage? That's blasphemy. No, the kids, Jim, the kids. So that's, you're removing the curiosity, the big red button. You're giving them a safe place to come and learn. I know that, or my kids know that if they want to look at my gun, to practice with it. My 13-year-old likes to dry fire. He loves it. And he'll come and ask me, Mom, can I dry fire? Maybe not today, or yep, let's go do it. Let's go unload the gun. I'll put him in a safe environment, make sure the gun's safe, and I will help him through that and make sure that he's starting this process early. So SPRs are really
So there's a whole bunch of comments that popped up that obviously
Yeah.
we couldn't read. I saw Brian had asked about a biometric lock. I'm assuming you're talking about one that's built into the gun. I know there was some talk about one a while ago that it wouldn't fire unless the right person was holding it, and I think that all sounds well and great and grand and stuff until you really need that tool as the appropriate person. Or what if it's your gun, it's my gun, but it's at home, my wife needs it, or my kids are getting a little bit older and they need it for home defense. Or I'm sweaty, bloody, muddy, whatever. If you've ever messed with biometrics on a safe,
or a stupid Android phone.
yeah,
Doesn't work.
yeah, I'm not messing with that.
So it was brought up the price of safes and how that can be restrictive as far as keeping guns safe from kids. And I 100% understand that complexity, because safes are expensive, and especially if you have more than one gun, it gets more expensive. So I think that dedicating and saving for a safe is ideal. Until you get to that point, guns are all sold, well, they should be sold from an FFL with a cable lock. You at least have that option. You can feed that cable through there, keep the gun unloaded. Obviously, that's not ideal for immediate access in a self-defense encounter. Or if you want to keep it loaded, then keep it on your person. Keep it on you while you're around your kids or something like that. You have to understand the sacrifices there. Do not keep your gun loaded in hopes that they're not going to find it, because the sacrifice on the other end of that, if they do, is immense. So work towards getting a safe. I understand that they're expensive. Keep an eye out for sales. There are fairly inexpensive ones that you can find. I think I've even seen them as low as like $25-$30, for a simple key lock. Obviously, the older your kids get and they have the abilities to get past those locks, and that's when the savings become a thing and you can get a better safe. Go ahead.
David says there's no set age where a kid is ready to learn about guns. So being aware of your kid's maturity is critical, and that's very true.
Yeah.
We've had experiences with kids in here that, we'll say 15, 16 years old, that really don't have the maturity to learn, listen, willingness to listen. And we've had kids 8 years old that are better than a lot of adults. I have one example. So for us, for a kid to be in one of our classes, they got to be 13 years old. You can shoot here as young as 10. We had somebody sign up for a class. They were, I don't remember, she was 10 or 11 or something like that. She was under the age limit, but it was mom, grandma, and granddaughter. And that granddaughter, as soon as they checked in, you could just tell by the way she carried herself, and the way that she talked, and the way she was interacting with me. She had a very high maturity level. And I asked to see the guns that they brought with them, and grandma got her gun out, and she started to hand it to me. And the little girl was like, "Grandma, no, you've got to rack the slide and take the magazine out before you hand it to him." I was like, "You already passed the class. You win. You win the day. High five,
That's
young
awesome.
lady." So I told her, I said, sit through class. If I didn't feel comfortable with her shooting and me being able to help her and the rest of the class, I wasn't going to allow it. But she was great. She was great. And it was simply because of her maturity level was different than other kids of similar ages. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that definitely plays a part. And truthfully, sometimes it feels a little different coming from her or I to your kid versus mom or dad. I will a lot of times try to get an idea from mom and dad of what they want to get the point they want to try to drive home to them. As a, for instance, we had a kid who was playing around with his airsoft gun and decided to start pointing it at people while they were driving down a road, and mom freaked out about that. Mom didn't know anything about guns and all that kind of stuff, and she just got scared that her kid was going to hurt somebody or get hurt because he was being stupid, and wanted me to have that stern conversation with her. And I did, and backed up mom essentially with what she was, the point she wanted to get across. And then we learned about real guns, you know, and how they work and what you can do with them, what you can't do with them, and go down and shoot them. And hopefully that squashed some curiosity and opened up his eyes to some of the seriousness of it. But he was still a 13-year-old kid who was just being a dumb 13-year-old kid.
Yep. That happens. That was a good learning moment. And I mean, for Christmas presents, I signed up my 13-year-old to take our classes here. He's not taking the classes from me, though. He's taking the classes from Phil or Vinny, because I think that just like it's hard to learn from your spouse, it's hard to learn from your parents, too. Like, parents teach you all kinds of things, you know, day in and day out. But when it's something like this, it's a little harder to, I don't know what it is. Like, why is it hard for us to teach our kids or our spouse, for that matter, things like that? You know, like the level of...
I think a lot of times it's they already think they know because of video games or Nerf guns or whatever it is. And my twins are a perfect example of this. One of them is very much so a listener and learner, and when you do things, the other one's just like, yeah, I got it, I know. Yeah, Dad, I know. Yeah, Dad, I know. I'm trying to teach you about nuclear fission, and you already know everything. I am not trying to teach my kid that because I don't know it. But he already knows everything.
For sure.
Everything.
Teenagers are awesome.
Family knows how to push your buttons, and that's very true as well. I'm 53 and still do stuff. I'm not 53. I'm 47 and still do dumb things. This is very true. What?
So I thought you were 60.
I am almost 60. What's the price of safety? Secure storage is necessary. Absolutely. But it doesn't have to be. So, hold on.
Oh, God. Oh, he's right back. Perfect.
I'm here. So this thing here is super cool, right? I am one of these people. I still have an alarm clock on my nightstand. Okay, I do. That's weird, but I do. This is also a safe. I couldn't think of the word I wanted to use. This is $500 or something crazy. How much is this thing? This is $500. You don't need to have this. It's really cool. It does a bunch of really cool things. It can attach to your Wi-Fi and let you know when it's being tampered with. It's got biometrics. It's got a combination. It's a really cool piece of secure technology, secure being for secure storage, that's not necessary. You don't have to have this to lock up the gun. If you have the means to have that and it's something you want, then awesome. But you don't have to have it.
There's also less expensive ones too. This one's just over $100, and it's a really nice safe. It's TSA compliant, and we've actually had a student that can attest to how durable these are.
Yes.
He actually had someone steal this out of his car and try to break into it. Criminals are dumb. They gave up on it and just threw the box on the ground. Where several other people that day got their guns and things stolen out of their car. But when it was in this, they gave up on it. Yeah. So these are awesome because you can tether it to your bedside or your car. And like I said, this one's fairly inexpensive. This is a really nice safe. I know that I've encountered safes $25-$30. So stop it. My face gets all red and I get all anxious. Can't just talk to myself.
Complete with sound effects. This is $40. Okay, $42.
Nice.
And it's just a key lock, very simple lock box. Okay. Does it have all the bells and whistles that it does? No. Does it securely lock up your firearm? Yes. Could this keep your kid from getting into it? Sure, as long as you don't just leave the key sitting right next to it. Because again, kids are pretty smart, even though they're dumb, and can do the little turny thing to make this thing go.
And I also think, now I don't know, but the quality or anything, I think Nanovolt's been around for a while.
Oh, yeah.
They make good stuff. But I think at some level, I don't know what level key that is, but, luggage keys and things like that, that's a little chintzy. So if you start with something like this for like little kids that can't get into it, consider having a more substantial lock whenever they get older and can pry and do stuff like that. So,
I agree. But just talking about options.
getting started, absolutely. For sure.
I did a lot of running around. I have the Gun Vault non-fancy version and use it all the time. Inexpensive and effective. There you go.
That's what I have right next to my bedside is a gun vault. It's just got 4 buttons
Does
on
it
top.
also cook you breakfast and drive you to work? I wish it did, but it don't.
I didn't have breakfast today.
I brought breakfast. I've been eating it.
I'm hungry.
Eggs and bacon. That's not my call.
Bring eggs and bacon to work for breakfast.
Just to annoy you. Anyway, so education, most important. Still securing your firearms. Just because the kids have education doesn't mean you can be irresponsible. Okay, you still have to own the responsibility of securing your firearms. Keep them on you or lock them up. Somehow, some way, make them inoperable if you don't have the way of locking them up. John, you are most welcome. That was very weird. The screen's like jumping around.
It's because they're liking things and it's like making
Why does nobody like me?
You're my boss, I can't answer that.
Anyway, education, secure the tools.
Right on.
But RPGs. I want to shoot RPGs.
Yeah, what age?
12. 12. That's all I got.
Did I
What
tell
do you
you
get?
Benny shot our 10mm Banshee?
I don't know.
My 4-year-old has shot my 10mm Banshee. It's awesome. He loved it too. He went through a whole magazine just sitting on his dad's lap, just pulling the trigger. He freaking loved it. And he's also got a book called Safety On. We got a few of them left. If you come in, it's just a little book for kids. If you want one, come in and ask for one. But it's just kind of a little cool book that goes over safety rules and going to the range with dad and shooting and just cool stuff like that. And my 4-year-old just loves it. And then he'll walk around with his little Nerf guns and it's like, don't ever point at anybody. So it's pretty cool. You can make it a fun thing too. We see lots of people that come in with their kids and they're so proud that they get to do something, enjoy something like this with their kids, and then as they grow up and you can get into the more defensive things, you can empower them to get into this world too, to where guns are not taboo and they're not trying to overcome a lot of nerves whenever they do get into this world, or if they choose to later on. So education's awesome.
Education is awesome. I love it and I hate it when we have somebody as an adult who comes in here and it's scared to death of guns because their parents told them that they were this evil thing and they should never touch them and never do this or never do that. We had an experience with that like 2 weekends ago. Just yesterday, I had somebody on the phone who was signing up for something. She got a CCW class women's basic pistol for Christmas. Women's basic pistol class for Christmas. They bought her a space holder, so she called to try to select a date, and she was nervous just talking to me on the phone. And she was like, I don't really know what to do. What do I need to bring? And so I started talking. I said, do you have a firearm? She goes, oh no, I'm scared to death of a firearm. I don't even know why I got this thing. And I said, well, I'm sure somebody wants you to learn. Oh, they think I should learn how to do this, and I'm gonna figure it out. And have this great conversation about it. She's scared of these things because of all she knows about them is bad stuff, and that if you touch it, bad things happen, which is not true if you do it the right way. So it was. I love it when those people come in here and they have a sense of relief, like, whew, this was not nearly as bad as I was expecting. I actually had a good time. Maybe you don't have a good time. That's okay also. Yeah. That's totally fine.
That's pretty rare.
It is very rare. but it's okay if that happens. But you've experienced something, you've learned something huge, and you can better talk about it with some real authority.
And when they get past the nerves of doing something scary, whether it's an adult or a kid, the momentum that you get from the dopamine and everything, you're like, wow, I just accomplished something that I never thought I would do. That was really scary. Look at what I've done. What else can I tackle? What else can I take on? And it just gives you this sense of power, empowerment. And if you can build that confidence in someone, it's so rewarding. It's one of the reasons why I love doing this. Is
Absolutely.
Just building that confidence in people. I know how great I feel when I get confidence, and just to see that in people is just the freaking best. Clyde said, NRA, love them or hate them, their Eddie Eagle program is good, and I agree. Yeah,
100%
Eddie
agree.
Eagle.
Yeah.
It's free. You can look it up on YouTube. They'll send you books and all kinds of stuff. But it's just a little video cartoon thing. And it's like, if you see a gun, stop, don't touch it, go tell an adult. They got a little jingle and everything, and sounds like a shit. Oh, Gordon.
Gordon! I love you, Gordon.
So
I can hear his little laugh in my head right now, too. Gordon.
last night, my husband has this box cutter, and it's a flip closed one, and it doesn't have any springiness to it. So like there's no friction. So like on a normal knife, like it'll stay in place, and you have to like physically open it, or you use a little assist or whatever. This one is just floppy, so it just moves around. Once you push the button and it's unlocked, it just flops around. I don't know if you've ever heard me talk about how much I don't like knives. Well, I've had an irrational fear of them in the past. I'm a little better now. But he wants me to take this thing, push the button, and flip it open. I know, you're all thinking like, okay, big freaking deal. I don't know what it was. I was like, I do not want to flip it. I just want to push the button and pull it up and lock it into place. I did not want to flip it. I didn't want to flip it closed either. I hated it. He's like, please just do it. And I was like, no, I don't want to. And I started thinking, I'm like, why is this such a big deal? And I also started putting myself in my student's place and thinking about like, okay, they're coming to shoot a gun. All I gotta do is just flip this freaking knife open. But I will tell you, it was just something about it. But when I did it a couple times. I did it a couple times, and it was fine, and I was having fun with it, and I did it some more, and okay, that was kind of cool. So, anyway, dumb things, but it's the fear of the unknown.
Brian is right where my brain went. Right?
Wait, what? Oh. It's so funny how I am the queen of freaking silly, dumb jokes, except for when
You don't understand.
I don't realize I'm making them.
Okay.
It's okay.
Anyway, it's after 9 o'clock. We gotta go, I think. Are you done?
I can't stop reading.
Length and floppiness is overrated.
Now I'm trying to think about all the things I was just saying with the flipping and the flopping and the rigid and the... You're welcome.
We'll go back and watch this later, and
And
you'll be like, oh!
And my face will be turning bright red.
Yes.
Which is...
Anyway,
Story of my life.
we're going to go away so you guys can go and do something productive with your day instead of sitting here and listening to this nonsense. So many memes will be made. Yes.
Take a screenshot and don't do. Why did I say that?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'll let him know.
Okay. We're leaving. If you guys need something, come hang out with us. 14803 Manchester Road in beautiful Baldwin, Missouri. Now offering... Oh, God dang it.
Good morning, Dennis.
Dennis, good morning, sir. Thank you for breaking up the craziness.
Flip-flop training.
14803 Manchester Road, 10 to 8 Monday through Friday. 10 to 8 Monday through Friday, Saturday 9 to 6, Sunday 10 to 6. I got my brain locked up for a moment.
Beautiful ball, downtown ball. When you say that
I
part.
said that earlier. You guys stay safe, be nice to one another, and we will catch you soon. Later.
Toodles.